What's inside the box? This time, it is a parody of the movie 2001, A Space Odyssey, that was written half a century ago by myself and my best friend in high school, Bill, who fancied ourselves satirists. And we came up with something called Space Idiocy. In fact, we decided to send it off to Mad Magazine, thinking maybe they'd give us a break and we could be writers for them, because we both loved it, naturally, with our strange sense of humor. Unfortunately, when we finally completed it, we did send off a copy and never received a reply. That's not nice to do to young teenagers. We told them how old we were. They should have at least said something back and said, thanks for trying, but no. Anyway, this is a first draft of the first few frames in what we hoped would be a typical Mad Magazine-style parody. And so what I'm going to do is read them to you now as best I can in this fading light this afternoon. This is Space Idiocy. The following manuscript is our idea of what a satire of the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey should be like. For each frame we feel should be included is a brief description, so the artist will have a better idea of how we intend to go about it. Now, of course, if we could draw, we might have gotten somewhere, but neither of us had any talent there. So it says here, in the write-up before the actual story, we feel there should be included a due to faulty equipment, illiterate writers, and mainly because someone forgot to crank the phonograph, there will be no dialogue for the first 90 minutes of this hour-and-a-half movie. Okay, you remember how Space Odyssey starts out with no talking, no dialogue, and just music. Just above the first frame, it says, the down of man, instead of the dawn of man. This is a twist on the dawn of man. Okay, we had to sort of spell it out in case they didn't get our humor. Okay, frame one. All right, I can actually kind of read on here. A group of monkeys are eating bananas and things. A character from the cartoon strip BC is in the background. Oh, that's cute. One monkey says to the other, pass the peanut butter. I don't know why that's funny. Maybe it was something on the air at that time. Anyway, frame two, the word flonk takes up the entire frame with appropriate artwork to show that something has just landed with great force. You know, the way Don Martin used to draw flonk in Mad Magazine. Frame two. Yes, frame three. The monkeys are running in all directions away from the center of the confusion, where there's a gigantic slob, not a slab like in 2001, but a slob. The slob is encased in ice, so it has the same shape as the slab, and has landed on one of the monkeys. And a small man is standing next to the slob and says about the monkey, the munchkins thank you. You know, we never put anything about having the appropriate socks or something, but from The Wizard of Oz. Tarzan is in the crowd. Oh, that's cute. A monkey, Don Martin type, there we go, we named the guy, the great Don Martin, is looking at the slob with a question mark. In the background, the RCA dog is cocking its head toward the slob with an inquisitive look on its face. Cute, but not funny. The ice in which the slob is encased is melting, and the slob says, "Erp," which you've seen in lots of Mad Magazine things in its heyday. The slob is encased, erp. Okay, look at this. See this? I'm dripping sweat. It's a hot day on this priceless document. Well, it's worth it just to share it with you. Okay, frame 5, a close-up of the monkey with a light bulb over its head, which shows that he has an idea. Frame 6, the monkey is attacking the other monkeys with missiles, rockets, machine guns, etc. Section 2. I mean, boy, with a section 1 like that, an opening teaser, you gotta read on. You can't help yourself to read on section 2, even if I've now made it almost unreadable with my sweat droppings. Section 2, frame 7, a spacecraft is traveling to a space station, which is a gigantic donut. The background is a flying saucer with a coffee cup on it. Frame 8, inside the spacecraft are various signs which read Hilton, telephone, etc., just like in Space Odyssey. In one sign it says slums with an arrow pointing to the appropriate direction. Ha 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 ha. Frame 9. The man from the spacecraft goes up to a hot dog stand and asks for a Coke with ice. The waiter says he doesn't have any ice, but he heard that they uncovered a giant ice cube on the moon. Well, now, the plot thickens. I think the audience probably is thinking ahead at this point. We hadn't thought ahead at this point, but we did go on to finish it, and it was equally hilarious. So again, I don't understand why they didn't send any kind of response from Mad Magazine, but Space Idiocy was our attempt to make it into parodies and satirical press. But it's no matter that we didn't get a response, because later on we went to lesser and worser things. Like this. Can you imagine? From that to this. What a fall from grace. Well, enough of this sweating and complaining. That's it for this time, and we'll catch you next time when we will once again find out what's inside the box.